Et pour nous parler de cette 92e édition du Qatar Prix,
to say a few words about this 92nd edition of the Grand Prix of the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Please, Monsieur Belenguer, will you come up to the podium? You need a microphone, don't you? Can we have a microphone? Monsieur Belenguer, I'm very happy indeed to welcome you here on Longchamp racetrack for a great racing day. Even today, we have 15 Group 1 winners who will take part in races today here, and the winner of the Japan Derby, the Epsom Derby, the Grand Prix de Paris, the Prix de Diane, etc., etc. The other excellent horses. I think this is going to be a great sporting day, and we're very happy to see you all here. And Monsieur Belenguer speaks French, speaking English.
Foreign friends, first of all, our friends from Qatar. I'm delighted to see Sheikh Mohammed bin Faleh Al Thani present here with Sami Al Brinen as usual, and we are absolutely delighted to see all the correspondents of foreign press, including from Japan, and we wish you a very good day.
Merci, Monsieur Belenguer.
Thank you very much, Monsieur Belenguer. We are here on Longchamp racetrack, which is the biggest racetrack, the most prestigious racetrack in France. Yes, Longchamp was opened in 1857, 156 years ago, and today in France is the National Day of Heritage. And Longchamp is part of our French heritage. Indeed, we have interesting plans for rehabilitating Longchamp soon, and I must say that on this racetrack, you can attend the most fascinating races, in particular on the day of the weekend of the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Liz says, well, it is the most expected racing day, isn't it? Yes, it is. We'll run 9 Group 1 with 8.7 million euros as prize money and 4.8 for the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, which means that is a real racing event which will be more exceptional than in other years. I fully agree, Liz says, and it is a unique challenge, isn't it? Yes, it is the race that everyone wants to win. It is something exceptional for the horse who is going to win that race, and we must not forget the purebred Arabians, which will have their World Cup. So this is a very, very important day for purebred Arabians, isn't it? Yes, Monsieur Belenguer is answering. Our Qatar friends consider that this is extremely important, and they consider, and rightly so, that purebred Arabian racing are prestigious and important, and we are very happy to share this with them today on this racetrack. Every year, indeed, there are many horses starting in these races, and I had the opportunity to talk with owners and persons concerned by Arabian racing, and everyone wants to win. Liz says, well, it's really exciting indeed. It is an exceptional weekend, isn't it? And we have an exceptional guest with us, somebody who is to sponsor, to be a great supporter of the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, a French actor. And Monsieur Belenguer says we are indeed very pleased and deeply honored to have this person with us today, an actor who starred in Greystoke, Highlander, Subway. He is a man of passion, which is very important in racing indeed, and he's a horseman, great horseman. Please, may I ask Christophe Lambert to come up to the podium. Thank you.
Quel plaisir.
Why not?
Donc, racontez-nous Racontez-nous un petit peu de
Please,
votre
could
passion
you tell
pour les
us a
chevaux.
few words about your passion for horses?
Avant de vous parler de ma passion pour les chevaux,
Well, before speaking of my passion for horses, I would like to say that
si je suis habillé comme ça aujourd'hui,
if I am dressed the way I am dressed today, shirt and jeans, is that I think horses is at the same time a classical, something classical and something related with the earth. And I love to be dressed up and protocol requests so. So on the day of the Qatar Prix de Triomphe, I'll be dressed as is expected from me, and I want, because I do realize that it is a prestigious race indeed, and prestigious weekend. Well, when I was a little boy, I discovered a horse, and when I was 7 years old, I fell several times, of course, but it was great pleasure riding, and I discovered a real passion, which I kept as the years were passing, and great pleasure of being able to communicate with an animal. It was a pleasure to be able to understand that this type of communication is essential in one's life. You cannot separate the rider from the horse. And it is something which I have always felt personally, be it in racing or in my daily life riding. You have to love the horse, respect the horse, to be humble in front of it. I suppose you visited Chantilly to see the training, and let us see the film.
Impressionnant beauté. Ce qu'on voit parle de lui-même, quoi. C'est pas un truc qu'on peut expliquer, je crois que c'est un truc qu'on ressent. Et tout, que ce soit les chevaux en eux-mêmes, la nature, il faut une grande humilité, parce qu'on est tout petit par rapport à ça. Ils sont magnifiques.
C'est des pur sang, quoi. Action du 0 avec les 2 ans, Audrey, 2 galops de chasse, Laura. Toi, tu vient du 5, un petit canter, Samuel.
C'est impressionnant, ce regard sur chaque animal qui est différent, qui est une compréhension de ce que chaque animal représente, veut dire par rapport à son mouvement, par rapport à son galop, par rapport à son souffle. Oh là là. Magnifique ce gris. Oh, je trouve ça génial. Je trouve ça génial.
Hop, hop, hop.
La différence entre un entraînement et une course, c'est le jour et la nuit. C'est-à-dire, tout à coup, on a l'impression qu'il y a une forme de discipline, que cette discipline est respectée. Et je suis étonné parce que quand on les voit en peloton comme ça dans les courses, on se dit que ça doit partir dans tous les sens. C'est très très excitant. Et puis voilà, et puis je vous dis franchement, c'est la première fois que je vais à l'Arc de Triomphe, qui est quand même le plus grand prix du monde. Donc ouais, je suis super heureux et puis je trouve ça extraordinaire. 1 sur 1, première action.
Christophe, si je peux me permettre,
Christophe, if you'll allow me, you seemed to be very emotional. As an actor, obviously emotions play an essential role in your life. I think that it was a unique moment to be on the track with a trainer. Well, being here represents something unique for me.
Qu'est-ce que vous voulez que je dise?
What can I say?
Voilà, je dis ce que je pense.
I just say things the way I think.
J'aime vraiment
I really love this. If I were to put this into words, I would say it's not just about horses and human beings, it's about respect. This is really what links them together, and we should never move away from this, forget this. We need to have respect, we need humility. Humility with other people, with nature, with animals. We need to be humble, we need to forget about ourselves and our ego, and that's when we are capable of achieving something. That's very important, thank you. Well, thank you for this. Mr. Bilinguet, we'll be very happy to meet Christophe on the 6th of October. Me too. Are you excited? Of course. I don't know exactly how I'm supposed to dress. Am I supposed to wear a hat? I don't know. Are you going to tell me? Just come as you are. We'll be happy to see you. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you, Mr. Lambert. A lot of emotions. It's always fantastic to hear somebody talking about our sports. Something we really love, and we like to hear other people share this with us. Of course, it's a very emotional moment when we watch an important race. So thank you, Mr. Lambert, for having shared with us your emotions. About horses, I would like to ask Hubert Monza, the CEO of France Galop, to come and introduce the horses who will be in the starting gates for the Arc de Triomphe 2013. Well, we don't have the final starting list yet. Maybe some horses will be supplemented, so there might be horses which have not been entered yet. We already have a wide range of international champions for an attractive race. The first one, obviously, is Camelot. Camelot belongs to the Magnétabor Association, winner of the 2012 Epsom Derby. Then we have Dunedain, Marlborough Cup in 2011, and Hong Kongers 2011, trained by Mr. Delzongle. Then probably Flintshire belongs to Khalid Abdullah, winner of the Paris de Grand Prix this year. Grand Prix de Paris, sorry. Going somewhere, the first foreign horse comes from Brazil, a Brazilian horse. Belongs to Mr. Steinbeck, winner in Argentina of the Grand Premio Internacional Carlos Pellegrini, the biggest race in Southern America. Ayalanda will be the 5-year-old mare, a very regular, reliable mare. I'm very happy to see Mrs. Faux, her owner, and Sylvie Audon, her trainer. A very, very reliable horse, consistent horse. She was 4th last year. Antelot, belonging to the Wertheimer brothers, winner of the Jockey Club, trained by André Fabre, ridden by Olivier Pellier. Kizuna. Kizuna is the first colt coming from Japan, a 3-year-old colt, winner of the Japan Derby in Tokyo this year, trained in Kyoto. It's a great pleasure for me to say hello to his owner, Mr. Maeda, his trainer, Mr. Sasaki, and Kizuna will be under the saddle of Yuka Katake, the famous Japanese rider, jockey, novelist, an Irish horse, winner of the Prix de Saint-Cloud, Queen Elizabeth Stakes, and recently winner of the Baden-Baden Pokal. Second Japanese horse, the one you can see on the poster, Orfèvre. Orfèvre needs no introduction. Second in the Arc de Triomphe last year. A fantastic horse, a courageous horse, a great Japanese champion. And Christophe Soumillon's saddle this year. Ruler of the world, an Irish visitor, winner of the Epsom Derby, quite simply a 3-year-old colt, same owner as Camelot, Magnétabor Association. Stellar Wind, a third Japanese competitor, winner of 3 races in 2013, and then Trèves, Cricket Head is with us today. Hello, Cricket. She's her trainer. She needs to be supplemented. This mare belongs to Sheikh Johan bin Khalifa Tali under Lanfranco de Torres saddle. Vancouverité.
C'est le vainqueur du Guillaume d'Ornano.
Winner of the Guillaume d'Ornano race, 3-year-old colt.
Et puis le dernier.
And finally, last on my list, I hope I did not forget anybody. Very nice name. Another horse from the Altany colours, trained by Alban de Mieul.
Voilà, Lise.
This is it, Liz. Oh, that's a very nice list already. And I'm sure other horses will be added. We don't know yet. You mentioned a few names of horses we will be seeing today. So can you tell us about today's racing day, the ARC Trials? Yes, of course. Today we have the ARC Trials this weekend. The very last preparation, fine-tuning of the horses, a very nice racing day. 2 Group 1 races, 4 Group 2, and 2 Group 3s, and 2 Group 2 horse races for purebred Arabians. There will be the Grand Prix Niel, preparatory race for 3-year-old horses. Flintshire, Vancouverité, and Kizuna will be starting in this rain. Then we have Grand Prix Foix, preparatory race for 8 horses, 4 years and beyond. Dunedin, Going Somewhere, Ayalanda, Orfèvre, and Stellar Wind will be pitched against each other during this race. Well, this is a very exciting day. Mr. Belenguier is going to give us a few hints regarding Sunday the 6th. This is going to be an exceptional day. The races will be an objective unto itself. The races that Hubert Monza has just described, and for some horses it will be the first time that they discover the track here. The Japanese horse that won the Japanese Derby has never raced here, so this will be the first time you will set hooves on this track. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Monza. Thank you for having explained to us what the races are going to be about and which horses will be starting. Now we're going to talk about the jockeys. We have with us 3 jockeys. Let me tell you that this is going to be an important preparatory racing day, so many jockeys could not attend this press conference because they're already in the sauna trying to shed some weight, but it's a very important day, so we are lucky to have with us some of the jockeys. And if you'll allow me, I'd like to introduce a living legend, Christophe Lemaire, Yves Saint-Martin, and Dominique Boeuf. Could you please come and join me? We're very happy to welcome them here, all the more because for a jockey, winning the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe is the achievement of a lifetime. And while I have the microphone, I would like to add that French jockeys are exported everywhere. We see them riding during the winter in many countries across the world. That is a sign of their quality. It speaks volume about their quality and the fact that they are acknowledged across the world. I'm going to start with Christophe Patrice Lemaire. Christophe Patrice Lemaire has ridden in Australia, where he won the Melbourne Cup with Dunedin. He won the Japan Cup, the Hong Kong Vase. There would be too many races to go through the list, but he still needs to win the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. So, Christophe, how do you prepare mentally and physically both to participate in such a big race? Well, hello everybody, thank you for having attended this conference. The Arc de Triomphe is a very, very important race. This is the race we think about early in the season when we ride horses which we believe would be able to participate. And for a jockey, coming October, when every day you ride in races, obviously there is no need for other preparatory work. We're fit enough, and mentally, we simply need to consider this race as just another race. Of course, we are focused, but we should be careful not to overdo it. We just take races one at a time, and those jockeys who will be riding the favorite horses obviously will be under a lot of pressure, and for the others, well, it's just a nothing to lose sort of race. There will be a lot of happiness, a cheering crowd, happy race goers, and this is something that we can feel, and we hope for the best possible result. So see you on Sunday, 6th of October. Thank you very much, Christophe. Now I'd like to give the microphone to Yves Saint-Martin. Yves Saint-Martin won the Arc de Triomphe 4 times, so he holds a record together with Olivier Pillet and Freddie Head. What does this kind of race mean for a jockey? Good morning, everyone. Well, of course, it's a great race. It's just the highlight of the whole racing season. International horses, international champions coming from across the world. It's a very special atmosphere. Obviously, the tension is palpable. It can be felt both in the race goers, in the jockeys. I mean, it's just a different atmosphere from all the other races. Riding an Arc de Triomphe is not like riding a claimer. And horses are different, and there is a very special atmosphere. We need to try and focus and be relaxed. I was very nervous until the race started. You know, all the other races had gone well, but if you're in the starting gates for the Arc de Triomphe, it's just different. You feel the tension, you have to be careful. You don't want to be stuck behind horses who will be too slow. You want to just ride a very clear and simple race and use your horse's capacity to the best of your knowledge. Well, is there one very special race that you would like to tell us about? Well, obviously the special win was the first Arc de Triomphe. I had just moved to a different racing track. I was an apprentice at François Maté, the greatest trainer at the time, and he actually made me. He was my mentor, and I was very happy to be able to ride with him. I mean, we were just a great pair at the time, feared by everybody. But when I moved to a different racing yard, that was the last race I was racing for him, the Arc de Triomphe, and I rode Nijinsky, a great favorite horse at the time, and in 1970 it was just great. You know, it was everybody believed in Nijinsky. The British crowd was in the stands, and after that race everything went wrong. But when we won, French people were so happy, they just jumped over the rails and everybody invaded the turf. And the president, CEO of the Société d'Encouragement at the time said, look, I've been to many races, but I've never seen anything like that. So yes, it is a great memory. Well, thank you very much, Saint-Martin, for sharing this memory with us. Now I would like to give the floor to Dominique Boeuf. Unfortunately, Dominique Boeuf put an end to his career 2 years ago, and we miss him. Dominique was one of the most respected jockeys in the lockers, in the changing room. Dominique, can you tell us about what it means to be a jockey? How do you describe a jockey? Are you an athlete? Well, of course. Good morning, everybody. Yes, jockeys are athletes. They need to be extremely fit to ride in races, because if you have any physical problem, you're not fit enough, you don't have enough stamina, obviously this could jeopardize the victory. Now, I would like to compare with other sports disciplines. You're like the center or forward players in a rugby or soccer team. I mean, there is a whole team of people, the trainer, the lads, the morning jockeys, and they deliver the horse to you with the turnkey, and you need to race and ride the horse to victory. So you need to be very focused, very detached from everything else, and ride the best race. So you need to take care of the horse first of all, and then the victory, but the horse comes first. You're the last stone And you should not go wrong. I mean, the value of a jockey does not depend on the number of races won, but the number of races which has not been lost. So all of my colleagues, the current jockeys, will be focused, and all they have in mind is to pay tribute to the trainer and the owner and the lads by winning the race with the horse, because they know that they've all been taking care of the horses. Well, thank you very much. That was a great summary. Thank you to the jockeys, thank you for coming, and thank you for having spent some time with us this morning. I know that Christophe must get ready for this afternoon, and so now that we have heard the horses, now we've talked about the horses, we've heard the jockeys, and we can now listen to the trainers. And we have with us 3 trainers. We're very lucky to have Cricket Head, Marek, Freddy Head, and Sylvie Audran. Could you please join me here on the podium?
Je vous donne ça. Alors,
Cricket Head Marek, you all know her. She's the first lady who ever won the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe as a trainer with 3 troikas in 1979. What did it mean to you? Well, it's a date I'll never forget in my life. I had bought that filly for my father. I bought it in 1977. I was just licensed, and I started with this filly, and it was fantastic, really, because it was a family victory. My brother is here with me, and who used to be my jockey, and then it was my mother's filly. So it was a great victory, but all victories are important, even though it's not in the Arc. You are going to have a mare starting in the Prix Vermeil, Trèves, and she might be supplemented for the Arc. Could you tell us a few words about her? Well, she was bred at the Haras du Quesnay. We have her mother on our farm, and the mother and the father. And it is a great mare who was never beaten. He has never been beaten until today. She has a great last moment speed. Taking off, let us say, and Sheikh Mohammed has offered us to buy it from us, and we agreed to that, and we are training her, and we hope everything will be all right today and for the Arc too. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed, Liz is saying. Freddy? For those of you who do not know Freddy, it's impossible, isn't it? But Freddy is Cricket's brother. He rode 3 troikas in 1979, but you won the Arc 4 times, didn't you? Today you are a trainer, and you train horses for the Breeders' Cup and all the prestigious races. Well, what do you do? What do you have to do for a horse to be ready on the D-Day? Well, you see, the Arc de Triomphe is like all the races, it is the end of a season, let us say. Before the Arc, there are many trials leading to the Arc, and after such trials, well, very few horses remain, let us say. So it's the horse has to be ready in his head, in his mind. He must not be overexcited with the noise, with the people. He must be relaxed. The horse must be relaxed, exactly like a human athlete in races, for instance. If the horse is not calm enough, he will be extremely tense. So he has to be as relaxed as possible. And preceding races must not be too difficult, nor too easy, so to speak, with the necessary effort, but without any brutality in the trials. If training has been well done, if it's too strict, races are going to be less difficult, maybe. But the horse, well, it's a mix. You see, it's a blend of all these things, and you have to be. Every horse is an individual, like a human being. You see, so you cannot train all horses the same way, but you must take into account their own traits and specificity. Thank you, Freddy. Sylvie Audon, we are very glad to see you today here. We have two lady trainers with us today, and hopefully for the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe for the year 2013. Could you introduce Ayalanda to us? Well, Ayalanda is a dream. She's a dream for us. She has been a dream for all of us, for the owner, for me. And she's a true warrior. She's a good soldier. She has stamina. She wants to fight. And, well, here we are. Well, how do you feel today? Do you feel some stage fright? No, I think, well, we have to remain trustful and wait for things to happen. You see, we know the horse feels what we are feeling. So if we are tense, the horse will feel we are tense and will get tense too. Well, it's not to be like last year. Last year was the first time in the Arc for us. So this year we'll have a different approach, but with great humility and hopes. We wish you all the best. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your presence here with us. Please go back to your seats. So we spoke of the jockeys of the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. It's true that for trainers it is a huge work which lasts for days and months, and it is a day-to-day task which has to be extremely careful. And one day, so once a year, the dream becomes reality. Yeah, actually, Lise says somebody has come from very far away, from Japan. Please, may I ask the trainer of Kizuna to come up to the podium, Mr. Shozo Suzaki, with his interpreter.
Je vous donne le micro. Bonjour.
Good morning. Well, we can speak French if you wish. So, your horse arrived in France on Chantilly premises at the end of August. So, how is he now? And was it easy for the horse?
環境に馴染むのが早くて、日本にいる時とほとんど変わらないような状態でしたね。
Alors, il s'est très bien adapté.
He gets accustomed quite easily, very well adapted, as if he was in Japan. Well adjusted. We are very happy to hear that, Lise says. For a trainer in Japan, well, every year we have Japanese horses coming to take part in our racing with Japanese fans. So what does it mean for you, having a horse in the Arc de Triomphe?
の意見なんですけども、25年前に研修で初めてフランスの地を訪れまして、こういうところで競馬やってるっていうのはすごいなという一種のカルチャーショックを受けまして、できたらフランスで、しかも凱旋門という世界一重いレースに自分の馬をね出走させたいと思いまして、日本のレースよりもこの凱旋門を常に意識して私は生活しておりました。
Alors, il y a
25 years ago, I came for the first time in France for training, and it was an enormous cultural shock indeed. I thought it was great to be here, and I was impressed. And now, being part of the Arc de Triomphe today, which is the most prestigious race in the world, well, became my dream. But today, I am here with my own horse, let's say, the horse I am training. It is something I have been thinking about much more than about racing in Japan. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for your translation. And good luck for Sunday.
Merci beaucoup. Alors, Monsieur Belenguer, tout à l'heure...
Mr. Belenguer, we have just spoken of the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. We spoke of Arabian purebred racing. And would you like to add a few words? Yeah, I suppose that the races of Arabian purebreds are going to be as successful as last year, and many horses are going to come to take part in this race, which is a real challenge. Exactly as the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe for thoroughbreds. We know how much our Qatari friends take it at heart to see Arab horse racing develop. And we do hope, we are very happy that this great race be run on the day of the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, and we are certain it's going to be a wonderful show. So I'm going to ask Sami Halbenine to say a few words and to come up to the podium.
Alors Sami, il vous cache qu'il parle en fait français. Il aime bien, il préfère parler.
Sami speaks excellent French, but he prefers to speak English.
Tell us about the race.
First, good morning, everybody. On behalf of Qatar Racing and Equestrian Club and His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Faleh Al Thani, we'd like to thank Mr. Bertrand Belenguer and Mr. Hubert Monzat and the team of France Galop for all that work they have done for Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe for so many years. And also, we're looking forward for wonderful race. We are looking for the first weekend of October is coming up in 3 weeks' time. Okay.
Il oublie que je dois faire la traduction, donc je vais essayer de me rappeler de tout ce qu'il a dit. Évidemment, il remercie tout le monde ici, Monsieur Belenguer, Monsieur Hubert Monzat, et il est ravi que cette course peut s'intégrer au programme du Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, et il attend avec impatience le dimanche 6 octobre. Voilà, je l'ai raccourci un petit peu, mais c'est...
And as much we are looking for the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe and all the Group 1 races on that day of the Arc weekend, also we are looking forward for the Qatar Arabian World Cup, which is the most beautiful race and the most high-ranking race in the world. In the International Federation, IFAR, everybody, all the country members, they are looking for this race because that's the target for all the countries, trainers, owners, to breed and to train horses for this big race to win and to be crowned by the Qatar Arabian World Cup.
Voilà, ils sont évidemment, ils attendent avec impatience cette journée qui a tellement de groupes 1 pour les pur sang anglais, mais bien sûr la Qatar Arabian World Cup est très très important, et elle est importante non seulement ici, elle est importante dans le monde entier. Tous les membres de l'IFAR sont très impliqués, sont très heureux que cette course existe et que tout le monde s'impatiente de pouvoir participer, d'avoir un cheval courir dans cette course.
Yes, as we look at this season, when it started around, I will say, March this year, we see many horses, they are coming, introduce new young horses, they are participating. Like in 24 hours from yesterday to today, there is 26 horses. Today 8, yesterday 18 horses, they are running in Doncaster. And it was a beautiful race, Group 1 horses. There is promising young Arabians is coming up, like Jatawi, he finished second to Tabarak. Tabarak, he showed the quality. And I think there is Mukhifa is running today, there is Altair is running today, there is many horses, also Al Mamoun Monlo is running today, and we will see which one is going to be the Qatar Arabian World Cup winner this year. And I wish all the, of course, the trainers good luck for this year, but of course there is one winner. But we hope for the best horse to win, of course, and that's what the good things about the track in Longchamp. It's a beautiful track. It gives opportunity to all the horses to split, to go, to win, and I think this is the most beautiful racetrack to appoint the Qatar Arabian World Cup to be held in for last 5 years and this year, and will continue till 2022. Thank you.
Okay. Alors, je vais avoir du mal à me rappeler de tous les noms.
Well, it's going to be difficult remembering all horses' names you've just mentioned.
Attire de plus en plus de partants. On a vu.
Well, that's true. There was a race in Doncaster yesterday, which was won by Tabarak.
He showed quality too yesterday.
Voilà, il y avait un cheval, un nouveau cheval qui venait de l'Allemagne, qui montrait de la qualité. Donc en fait, la qualité justement des chevaux qui.
Also coming from Germany, and that shows the quality of the horses running the Qatar Arabian World Cup, highest level. Several years ago, it's been 5 years now since the race is being run, and it's a great thing that the race takes place on this great racetrack with great course, and every horse can find its place there. And if I have forgotten anything.
Okay.
No. And also the most beautiful things we have to know. Also during the ARC weekend, we have the International Federation for the thoroughbred or for racing authorities all over the world, chaired by Louis Romanet, the chairman. And also IFAR, the International Federation of Arab Horse Racing Authorities, they are also have the General Assembly during the ARC weekend. And I think all the horse people, also the authorities, racing authorities, they are in the witness the ARC, I think the most beautiful race in the world, the Arc de Triomphe and the Qatar Arabian World Cup. And I would like to thank you all here. Thank you very much.
Merci Samy. Alors, il ne faut pas oublier que durant le week-end de l'Arc de Triomphe, c'est non seulement la plus belle course au monde qui a lieu ici, mais c'est aussi le...
So Liz is summing up what Samy has just said, saying that the ARC weekend is an opportunity for representatives from the International Federation of Horse Racing Authorities, chaired by Monsieur Louis Romanet, and IFAR, by German. So all those people can get together, and he wants to say thank you for everyone for such an opportunity and for being able to get together on this weekend. Thank you very much, Samy. Thank you very much indeed.
Juste dans le prolongement de ce que Samy vient de dire.
Following up what Samy has just said, I would like to stress the importance at world level, the importance of this weekend in Paris. Representatives from more than 50 countries meet on the Monday following the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe so as to discuss problems met by racing authorities. It's a French creation indeed, and Louis Romanet every year chairs the works of all these delegates coming to Paris for the race, and they are very happy to come indeed for the International Federation meeting, international conference. Thank you, Monsieur Romanet. Liz is saying, Monsieur Belenguer, sorry, Liz is saying. There is something very important indeed, too, which is sponsorship of a charity which is called Mécénat Chirurgie Cardiaque, which is heart surgery support and sponsorship. Why? Well, because we thought that in a very prestigious sporting event, we had to associate our activity with a great cause, and the Mécénat Chirurgie Cardiaque was founded by Professor Francine Leca many years ago, and it provides operations and saves life, after all, saves lives of many children who come to Paris to undergo cardiac operation, heart operation. So we are extremely happy that the Mécénat Chirurgie Cardiaque Association be associated with the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe this year. Thank you very much. And please, Monsieur Guillaume de Lausret, please, can you tell us a few words about your association, please? Good morning, everyone. Please, can you say a few words about your association? Your organization. As Monsieur Belenguer rightly said, we founded our organization in 1996. The objective of this association is to operate children with cardiac failures or malfunctions or heart failures and operate them in France, knowing that it wouldn't be possible for them to be operated in their countries for technical or financial reasons. So they come to France. Some they are in host families for 6 or 8 weeks. And once the operation has been performed, they go back to their countries and they have a normal health. They can go to school, practice sports, etc., etc. And we are very happy to be here today. Thank you very much indeed. It is a meeting of persons who have great hearts. Horses have big hearts, haven't they? And jockeys are athletes with heart too. So it is a chain of a heart for everyone. And it will be possible for these children to be born again, let us say. We operate about between 100 and 200 children per year. 2,000 children were saved since 1996. Christophe Lambert is also a great supporter of us and is a man who has a big heart too. Thank you very much. If you wish to support this association, this charity, there are nice bracelets which are sold on the racetrack, which will be sold on the racetrack on the day of the Arc, and they will cost 10 euros. So we have already said many things, but it's important to say a few words about the communication which has been organized for this great event. Monsieur Giletta, who is Deputy Chief Executive for Communication, Marketing and Development, to introduce this great event.
So good morning, everybody. The objective, obviously, is to bring many more racegoers to the track. Last year, 55,000 people attended the weekend. We hope to reach 60,000 this year. What about novelties? The communication campaign started earlier. You may have seen posters across Paris, big tarpaulins hanging from buildings promoting this event. And we're going to ramp up the communication campaign with all of our partners on TV, with France Télévisions, Equidia, and we're going to promote the event throughout France. On the radio, RMC is going to be our partner until the weekend of 5th and 6th of October. Gala for the press and something else. We have now a new digital tool on many different specialized websites, but also sports websites, l'équipe.fr, eurosport.fr. We are going to promote the event, and again, they will also ramp up the communication campaign. And finally, we have a dedicated website, prixdelarctriomphe.com. Really, I encourage you to log on to this site, because you will find interviews from trainers and jockeys explaining how they prepare for this big event. And between now and the 5th and 6th of October, all fans, racegoers and spectators will be able to find out about the race. So communication campaigns started earlier this year, and again, as I said, there will be a ramp up as we move towards the big date. Something else which is new regarding media coverage. Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe means about 600 journalists accredited for the race coming from across the world. 1 billion TV viewers who are going to be watching the race across the world on their TV screens everywhere in many different countries. I mean, there are very, very few sports events in France, staged in France, being watched by so many viewers. France Télévisions will be the channel broadcasting the races, and especially this race for about 45 minutes on that afternoon. And Equidia, everybody at Equidia will be working for the race, both channels, Equidia Live and Equidia Live. Equidia Live throughout the weekend, and Equidia Live for a few highlights on things regarding the Arc de Triomphe throughout the weekend. This is it for France. And abroad, we already have partners today, journalists from Japan, Fuji Television, NHK, Kansai TV, and they already are in France for the preparatory races, for the trial races today, and the race will be broadcast in Japan, in Great Britain on Channel 4, in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in the United States, across the world. Everybody will be watching out for the Arc de Triomphe on the 6th of October and watching the race on TV. A novelty this year, both press conferences during the Arc de Triomphe and Qatar World Cup will be broadcasted on YouTube live. The Arc de Triomphe press conference is already visible on YouTube in both French and English, and we are hoping to develop with YouTube a very special system to be able to share the event with as many people as possible, viewers, and also social networks will be taking over. Hashtag APT, Twitter. We have tweeters already reporting this weekend about what is happening in Longchamp. And on the day of the Arc de Triomphe, for those of you who cannot attend via special networks, you will be kept informed of what is taking place. And France Gallo and the YouTube channel will therefore be associated to the event. And finally, ticket sales. Some novelties also. Obviously, we have very attractive prices, €6 on the Saturday, €10 on the Sunday. But we have added a few features. We have, for instance, during the weekend, a package with a numbered seat in the stands together with a picnic basket. And we are trying to attract many different racegoers, individuals, families, groups. And again, our objective, our aim is 60,000 paying racegoers. On all ticket sales websites, you will be able to find information about the tickets, and you have on the screen all the ticket sale websites. You can find out about the ticket prices, the event on all of these websites. We really want to gather at least 60,000 people on the day of the weekend of the Arc de Triomphe race. Well, thank you very much, Christophe. So we found out about many interesting things today. Again, this is a unique event. There is only one Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Absolutely. And that is exactly the reason why we are very happy that our friends from the French and foreign press are present today. And we thank them for everything they are going to do to promote this event. Before we break, we would like to show them last year's race.
Avec également un bon départ de Solémy à la numéro 10, Ayala position devant Saint-Nicolas-Abeille, alors que Yélan est toujours dans la deuxième moitié du peloton. Aventino venant maintenant à l'extérieur, accompagné également par Charita qui tente de faire mouvement. On retrouve également Simoun avec Orfèvre qui est en retrait, alors que Quesampour est également à l'arrière-garde, le numéro 12.
Le but de la descente avec toujours le 15 Ernest Hemingway qui fait le train devant Robin Hood avec à leur extérieur en rouge et vert Michael Glinka, l'outsider Solemia, Kazakh bleu et blanc est ensuite devant la Kazakh gros bleu et jaune de Brett Evans, suivi par Camelot côté corde avec à son extérieur Master Stroke, avec également dans le sillage du groupe de tête la Kazakh bleu à pois de Saunois, le numéro 16 devant Ayalunda côté corde.
Bientôt la sortie de la fausse ligne droite avec Ernest Hemingway qui monte maintenant une dizaine de longueurs d'avance sur Solemia qui vient à la corde. Michael Glinka également accompagné à l'extérieur par Dale Evans. On tente de se rapprocher également avec Camelot qui est tout près des premiers devant Ayalunda à l'extérieur. Méandre également qui tente de refaire du terrain.
Avec Solemia qui prend le meilleur facilement à l'extérieur. Master Stroke se rapproche. Brett Evans est là avec un peu plus loin Charetta avec Orfèvre qui vient tout à fait à l'extérieur avec sa top rouge. Ayalunda se défend bien devant Camelot avec Méandre qui tente de revenir, mais c'est Orfèvre pour le Japon qui attaque Master Stroke.
Orfèvre qui vient maintenant complètement à l'extérieur avec Christophe Soumillon et qui a pris l'avantage dans cet arc de triomphe devant Solemia qui est en deuxième position et Master Stroke qui est troisième. Orfèvre qui a l'avantage, Solemia qui tente de revenir à son extérieur. Orfèvre, Solemia, Orfèvre, Solemia, Orfèvre, Solemia, Orfèvre, Solemia, Orfèvre, Solemia, peut-être à la fin.
Quelle course!
Je dois dire, ça me donne encore la chair de poule.
Still gives me the shivers to watch this race again. Mr. Chairman, we are reaching the end of our press conference. I know that 1,500 volunteers are waiting for you outside, so you need to go. You will have the final word. Well, thank you very much for having attended this press conference. Yes, I am going to have to leave you because on the turf we have all the volunteers who help us organize races in France, all those people who help us organize races on 250 racetracks in our country. And so we, once a year, celebrate these volunteers. This year it's going to be staged here in Longchamp. So if you'll forgive me, I need to go because they're waiting for me. And I would like to thank all the France Gallo collaborators. They are here to answer your questions. And thank you very, very much for having attended this conference. I'm absolutely convinced that, again, this is going to be a big racing event this afternoon and obviously on the 6th and 5th and 6th of October. Thank you very much, Mr. Belenguer. We are here, we are staying, so if you have any questions, we are here to answer your questions. Thank you very much for having attended the conference.